everybody, to the
I'm Fat podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, and Frato's Culinary Kitchen. I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawoski. And Jay, it's been another really busy week for the two of us.
Yes.
And in March Fatness, because later today, voting for the next thing to go into the Onion Ring of Honor will commence.
And both contestants are worthy.
Yes.
I'm almost tempted to just say, you know what? You're both in. You both did a great job. It's a participation trophy for you both. But no. It's going to be burritos or air fryers. And friend, I have experience with both.
Oh, yes, we both do. And it's funny, burritos have been the staple. They're the blue blood. They've been around for a long time, and air fryers have really made a meteoric rise in the last few years.
Yeah, I think people are starting to get them. People are starting to buy them. And much like I said about the Wendy's Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich, early entry this year, but in a year or two, that's going to be a strong competitor as people start to try it. And that's the thing. Air fryers are now becoming a bit of a standard in kitchens throughout the country. And people are learning the greatness, and we'll get to it. But I got one this week. I've had like the toaster oven air fryer.
Okay,
it's not the same. We bought it on Friday, and I have already made several spectacular dishes in my air fryer that we'll get to later in the show. But let's recap March Fatness. But first, got to tell you about how to follow us and find us. You found a podcast. Thank you for doing that. Maybe you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/I'm Fat Podcast. If you are, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Pocket Cast, Stitcher. If it's a podcast app, we are on it. And if we're not, let us know. I'm fatpod@gmail.com. You can leave us a message on the Fat Phone, 708-858-3314. Follow us on social, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at I'm Fat Pod. And we've got our TeePublic shop, as always. Get some cool I'm Fat Pod merch at our TeePublic shop. Check the links in our social media bios for all that information.
Are we going to have to update the shirt for the TeePublic shop next week?
We have to slap a burrito or an air fryer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because, okay, at least it's easier, it's probably easier thinking of like what the picture is with the air fryer, because then we could just have Andy Reid sitting, as he's wont to do, while eating a piece of pizza with either some bacon on it or bacon in the other hand, with the air conditioner, like blowing at him, and then waiting for something else to be made in the air fryer.
I'm trying to pull up the old design. Here we go. I got it right here from our TeePublic shop, and Michael will put this on the YouTube page. So the current design is Andy Reid with, instead of the Chiefs Arrowhead logo, it's a piece of pizza that says fat on the hat.
It's great.
He's holding an open box of pepperoni pizza while holding bacon in the other hand with one foot up on an air conditioner. So yeah, I think we could just have him maybe sitting on an air conditioner with his feet up on the air fryer, or vice versa. So many options.
Interesting.
We'll have to see what our designer, Mark Fishman from Unshaven Comics, comes up with, because he's always good for new designs, and the Onion Ring of Honor needs a new one.
Yes.
All right, so why don't we do this? Since we went through the entire field of 64 last week, why don't we recap the Elite 8 and the Flabby 4, and then we'll break down what we think is going to happen at the championship game today, voting at 11 a.m. on the Twitter account at I'm Fat Pod.
Okay, so in the famous Fats region, in the Elite 8, Bartolo Colon defeated Jack Black with 54% of the vote.
Man, I think Jack Black's got potential to 1 year win this thing.
It's very possible. In the Fat Accessories region, as I'm usually pretty good about turning off my phone, definitely didn't that time.
It's okay.
So, whatever.
It's early in the morning.
Yeah, it really is. All right. In the Fat Accessories region, the 4-seed elastic belts fell to the 3-seed air fryer. Air fryer a dominant victory, 70.5% of the vote.
Wow.
So on that side of the bracket, that gave us a flabby 4 matchup of Bartolo Colon against air fryers. And this was a tight one. Air fryers, 52% of the vote to move into the title game.
Wow.
And on the other side of the bracket, in the Fat Hacks region, the 4-seed Aisle Seat on a Plane defeated the 5-seed using sex as an excuse for exercise, or sex counting as exercise, with 55.2% of the vote. And that took on the Burrito, which had a tight matchup against Italian Beef.
I thought Beef was going to run away with this because it was kicking some ass early on.
It was. Well, it got a little bit of an extra push by there was some Twitter marketing going on to get the I think it was literally getting on like the Italian Sports Hall of Fame on board. So
Jerry
Burrito,
Colangelo and company were bumping the numbers a little bit.
Pretty much.
That's okay.
So Burrito won with 51.4% of the vote.
We got a lot of angry folks in the comments too, like burritos are overrated. Namely James Naveau, my former Madhouse podcast partner. Somebody had the nerve, and Rick, know this is wrong. Someone said you get the same amount of meat in a burrito as you do in a taco.
No, you don't. No.
Absolutely not. Either you go to the best taco joint in the world or the worst burrito joint in the world.
Yes, exactly.
It's one or the other, because there's no way you could open a burrito and say that's the same amount of meat as in this taco.
Yeah, there's no chance.
No, absolutely not.
God, maybe half?
And I know like people prefer tacos to burritos because you can order multiple and like change up the meat. But for me, there's nothing better than a steak
or for
burrito.
tortilla. Or for tortilla style. Yeah,
for sure.
But I get it, but burritos are pretty good.
Yeah. And they kind of like represent fatness in a way.
They do.
You know, like it's just a big thing. It's round. It's plump.
You could imagine someone eating it while driving, even though it's not preferable.
Yeah.
But they do it.
I also want to say...
I mean me.
And me. I also want to say I'm very glad Sex is Exercise is not going to win this because I don't know how to put that on a t-shirt. I really don't. I'm just thinking like a guy
I've got thoughts,
giving a thumbs up or like
where like you only see the top half of them or something, and I
don't know. Whatever. I'm sure Mark and Unshaven Comics could come up with something, but I don't know if I want to sell it.
Yeah. Andy Reid eating a piece of pizza while never mind.
Maybe he's wearing a Fitbit that says like congrats on the sex or something. This many pumps last hour.
And then they'll throw a flag on them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh God. Okay, and then in the Flabby 4 matchup, Burrito defeated Aisle Seat on a Plane with 62.7% of the vote. So we've got a 1 seed and a 3 seed meeting in the final, and this is going to be such a good match because, like we said, the Burrito is the blue blood in this, and the air fryer has really come on strong the last few years. I mean, I know I still have the same crappy one that we had when they were still pretty new, the little egg-shaped one that can fit, let's just approximate 20 to 25 pizza rolls in there pretty comfortably and make those in a reasonable amount of time. Not that I have a ton of experience with that or anything.
Yeah. I got mine as a 6-quart. That's the size I got.
Okay.
So I think about 25 pizza rolls comfortably, and we'll get to it, but I think I was able to handle 20 chicken wings at a time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so mine are piled on top of each other. So
that's
how I get to the 25.
These are all like a single layer.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
No, a single layer would be like 10.
Okay.
Maybe.
I think you can do that with pizza rolls.
Oh, yeah.
I think with
pizza rolls,
wings,
they
need to have their own
much.
spot. Anyway, okay, let's get to it. So I'm going to predict an upset. I think that air fryers are going to win.
I kind of think so, too.
Yeah, because of the burrito hate we saw over the last week. And look, Duke got hate,
right
into the Final Four. You hate what you ain't. People hate the Yankees. People hate, etc. But I do think this could be the year for air fryers to get into the Onion Ring of Honor, and quite frankly, it's deserved. It's deserved. It's a great product.
Yeah, as I look at how this bracket played out, some of it was surprising, but I don't think anything that made it to the Flabby 4 was undeserving.
Right.
I would say the closest thing would be Bartolo Colon because of the controversy that showed up of him running on a treadmill.
He'll stop. He'll fall off.
We can only hope.
These fats always do. They have their little health phase, and then they're like, you know what? I'm happy with who I was. And they go back to their original form. You know, by the way, I saw Craig Robinson on a commercial yesterday during Russellmania, as Vince McMahon calls it. Okay. Off the wagon or back on the wagon, however you want to call it. Craig has put on some LBs.
Okay.
So
good.
Whatever Bartolo has lost, he donated to Craig. He's like, here you go. He's like put it in a box and mailed it to him. It might be those Pizza Hut ads. It's like,
yeah.
I'm going to need another take. I think I misspoke on that one. All right, get another pizza in here. It's a shame.
Oh, yeah, because here at Domino, no, I messed it up.
Bring another slice in for me.
Just going to have to, yep. Here, let me finish this first one so you don't have to throw it out. I mean, that's just wasteful.
Yeah, we don't want to waste anything. Wow, yeah. So, all right, well, that leads us nicely. Now, so remember, voting starts at 11 today on the Twitter account at I'mFatPod. We're going to run that for what, 24 hours? Should we do 48 hours since it's a championship? What do you think, Rick? Let's have a 40.
Yeah, let's go 48 hours.
All right, so you've got some time to get those votes in. We want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to vote. We'll make sure to remind you several times throughout the day. So follow Rick on Twitter at RickCCamp. I am at Jay Zawoski on Twitter. We'll be retweeting those as we go. All right, so I got to say thank you to the I'm Fat podcast listeners, too, because their enthusiasms for air fryers, I believe, is what turned my wife into willing to buy one.
Okay. Now, why was she anti?
Well, she doesn't want another appliance in the kitchen, which I understand. Like, you just don't want a big counter full of appliances.
Right. This isn't the 50s.
We already had the Cuisinart air fryer / toaster oven, which was adequate, but not quite as dependable as a typical air fryer.
Same.
So I think seeing air fryers run through the I'm Fat March Madness, and then our buddy Josh was telling her, like, you got to get one because he makes all this great stuff. So we were at Target Friday, and she's like, we should get one. I'm like, yes. And I would not leave. I'm like, we're getting it. We're getting one today.
Yep.
So we got the Ninja. No, I'm sorry. We did not get the Ninja. We got the Instant Pot 6-quart air fryer. So it's got like the big bucket. You pull it out, and then all these buttons and stuff. So here's what we made. First thing I did was I cleaned it. So what I learned is you could put water and dish soap in it and then run it for like 3 minutes, and it cleans it perfectly.
Oh.
Yeah. So and if there's any remnant, you just wipe it out with a wet paper towel, or a dry paper towel, because it's like the non-stick coating. Okay. So after we cleaned it, I made pizza rolls that were absolutely perfect. Last night for WrestleMania, we went to Burkhart's in Mokina, because they've always, if you're in the South, like West Burbs at all, that Burkhart's in Mokina has awesome deals on meat.
Okay.
We got like 5 pounds of wings for like $9.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just was like, I had to do it in 3 different shifts of wings to make. Micah, our video producer, came over to watch WrestleMania. And so it was, let me see if I can remember this. $360 for 12 minutes.
Okay.
Flip them. Another 12 minutes at $360. Then 8 minutes at $390. And they were restaurant quality perfect.
Wow.
So all I did was, before I put them in, I brushed them with vegetable oil or grapeseed oil, whatever oil you have laying around, not motor oil. Don't do that. Salt and pepper. That's it.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So then when they're done, put them in like a mixing bowl, like a baking bowl. Dump the Cholula Caliente wing sauce on there. Stirred them up with the tongs. Gave them a nice flip. I'm telling you, Rick, if these were in a foil pan, people would think they're from a proper wing joint. They were absolutely perfect. Perfect. So I made 3 shifts of that. Then this morning, I came downstairs in hopes like breakfast is for you under that plate. So to keep my food hot, sometimes she'll put a plate on top of the. She made air fryer donuts.
Oh.
With biscuit dough. Like, she got the Pillsbury biscuit dough, made that, and then just like rolled it in cinnamon and sugar.
So it was like kind of flaky too.
Oh, it was awesome. It was so freaking good. Again, like all the stuff we're making from this thing, it is top notch. And this big trend on TikTok are these chicken thighs that people make in the air fryer.
Okay.
So we also bought like a big tray of chicken thighs, and we're gonna make those tomorrow. But it's literally just like salt, pepper, seasoning, and you put them in there for like 20 minutes, and they're done, and they're perfect. I cannot believe how well it cooks things.
Yeah, seriously, like the air fryer. I'm not saying it's completely replacing the oven because there are some things that are just too big for the air fryer. But I mean, like I wonder how ye ol' oven and big oven is now, because these air fryers for a lot of things, I mean, they're just so much better and efficient.
Yeah. I also reheated pizza in there.
Okay.
And it came out perfect. Crispy. You know, it was delicious. So everything we've made has been awesome. The recipes have worked, and people have been sending me recipes on Twitter when I tweeted the photo of my new air fryer. But yeah, Rick, if you're looking to upgrade, that Instant Pot brand one is I think it was $99.
Really?
Yeah, Target for that 6-quart air fryer. It's great.
Instant Pot.
And we went with that brand because we have an Instant Pot, which is also great. And it works fantastic. We just were like, well, let's get the brand we know and trust. And it had like, we looked on Amazon to see how the reviews were and the price compare. There were like 13,000 reviews, and it was 4.5 stars. So I'm like,
oh yeah, that's
okay,
good then.
that's a safe buy. So, and it's wonderful. I'm so happy I have an air fryer in my life.
I told you, man.
It's like when you have a kid, it's like, well, now the rest of your life begins. Same thing. It's almost identical. I said to Addie, like, I was almost as happy when you were born as I am that I have this air fryer. And that should make you feel good, because I'm really happy right now. Now, we got to talk to Eric Vates from Mazda of Orland Park and see if the new models of Mazdas can come with an onboard air fryer.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
See, now, how clutch would that be? You could just pull up to McDonald's and be like, you know what? Don't even cook it. Just hold just put your bucket out the window and then just plug it in. Boom, nice and fresh right there in the Mazda. But I am now 10 days or 7 days closer from last time we spoke to my car arriving, and everyone's still dealing with supply chain and all those sort of things. So we're looking at like late May for my car to arrive, but it's going to be exactly what I want it to be, which is that navy blue CX-30. I cannot wait. It's on the way. It's like I'm just like visualizing the production of my car happening. It's very exciting.
They're putting like 2 parts on a day.
Yeah, like, and a button for the radio. But it's just, I can't wait. It's been a long time since I bought a new car, and like I've always said, the only place I'll ever buy a car from is Mazda of Orland Park, and you should too. Go visit them, 8910 West 159th Street, 708-444-3200. Give Eric a call, and he'll get you started on your... They've got stuff on the lot, too, if you want to go and select. But I wanted specifically this specific build, so I just custom ordered it. And I knew I'd have to wait a little bit, but that's fine. I'm willing to wait. My car, the Ford, is still running-ish.
Yeah. It'll get you by. I just love that you went... you gave the double hand, but the not quite the... Yeah,
I watched WrestleMania last night. I'm in the mood.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah. It was just funny. But there's few things better than, and mind you, the anxiety level goes down significantly at Mazda of Orland Park. But you know, when anybody's buying a new car, the anxiety when you're getting it of just like, oh God, am I setting myself up for failure money wise? Blah blah blah. All the stuff, is this really the right car for me? All that. After you get over that, and you're like sitting in the car and you're driving it home and you get the smell. It's a great feeling. It's a great smell. And the new car smell stays longer than you would think, which is great.
First thing I do, though, is I go to a drive-thru and dump French fries under the driver's seat. Just so I feel at home. It's like a dog marking his territory.
I was so good for a while with my car when I got it. And then after a while, I'm like, I need to go here. I'm hungry. Screw it.
Yeah.
And I just gotta be better. You know what I gotta be better about is there's like a place on my way to work. I think it's in Villa Park, where it's just like one of those, a free vacuum.
Yeah.
Like $3 car wash, free vacuum type things, and just being diligent about that.
Right. Yep, that's how it is. And I remember when I first got my 2015 Mazda, I was an Uber driver. So I was like, because I needed a second job because I worked at the Score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, full-time job, need a second one.
Right.
So I had to keep the car clean.
Yeah. And since no one's asking, I have 2 jobs.
Interesting. At least.
Yeah. At least. Yeah.
Well, you actually,
this counts
you're right
as
for
good.
4 for 4. You've got this job. You also do Bills post game.
Yeah.
Which would count as a 4th job.
Yeah.
So you can pay your bills. Bootstraps, Rick. Use them. Pull yourself up by them, you lazy-ass millennial.
Right.
These millennials
Exactly.
don't want to work except the 4 jobs Rick has to get by.
Yep.
Cool.
Pretty much.
Cool business plan you got there. Anyway, go visit Eric at Mazda of Orland Park and MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Tell him the I'm Fat podcast sent you. Go get a free pap while your car is getting serviced.
Ooh, if you needed any more selling points, that's one
There's
for
free
you.
paps in there. Yeah. Yeah, I was close to buying that fully loaded white CX-30. And I'm like, A, I don't need it fully loaded. And B,
white.
yeah. My buddy Brian yelled at me like, what's wrong with a white car? I go, I don't know. I'm a big fat guy. You look good in your white car because you're skinny and handsome.
Yeah, I had a white car, and I forget if we've gone over this, so forgive me if we have. But like when I had a white car, it was like it wasn't white or like a pearly white. It was like I think it was called like eggshell white. So it's kind of like a little more subtle as far as white shades of white go.
Yeah.
So I was able to deal with it, but it was a car that I liked and it was used and I didn't have much of a choice. So I was like, let's do it.
All right. Rick,
All
you
right.
sent me some delightful photos this week.
I did.
Some of food.
Yes. Yes. Some were TikToks. Some were TikToks.
Yes.
Some were food.
Yes.
So yesterday I went to a place that I believe we've spoken about on the podcast, or if not, even this week, what kind of like pushed me to go a little bit more was the executive producer of the morning show of Mully and Haw, Dustin Rhodes, was like, hey, have you been to this place? I know it's in Lombard now, because he's on a diet at the moment because, sponsorships and stuff.
Because being paid to do so.
Yes, exactly. Fair enough. And if that's the case, then got you. So he wanted to live vicariously through me as I was like, sure, I'll go to Bat 17 in Lombard. And for those that live up by Evanston, probably know of Bat 17 because that's where it originated, but this is a new location in Lombard. So went by myself yesterday afternoon, that sensation that I'm getting used to of going places by myself and being comfortable about it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to like kind of do this up right. Get me an appetizer, see where that goes, see how big it is. I'll make my decision from there on my meal, and then I'll get a dessert maybe to go. Oh, did I make good decisions? Let me tell you. So I looked at their I was like, there was something really intriguing for an appetizer special that I was like, do I get something off the standard menu so that way it's a barometer for stuff that's always going to be there for people listening to this? And then I was selfish and said, no, this looks yummy. I'm going to get it.
Nice.
And it was mac and cheese squares. So these are squares that are not like super thin. Like if you think of like the cheese triangles at like Giordano's or something.
Yes.
Thicker than that.
Oh.
This was, I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. But I mean, there was like, when I cut it open, there was like 3-4 layers of macaroni in there.
Oh my.
So this thing was significant.
So it's almost
in terms of height.
mac and cheese lasagna.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like not quite that tall. It's like kind of between.
All right.
In between height wise. But the really just real crispy shell, and then the thing that made it so good, they put arugula on top. So, but it made it a salad.
Decorative. Yep.
Yeah. Made it a salad.
Right.
There was even like 1 or 2 pieces of the arugula that accidentally made it onto a bite. And I understand why people who would like arugula would like it, because maybe it cuts through some of like the, the fat and the sweet and whatever. But a sweet tomatillo sauce.
Oh, interesting.
I would have never thought to do that, but because I asked specifically when they asked, how is it? And I was like, fantastic. Cause she caught me between bites. So she had like 0.3 of a second to do that. Yeah. And I asked, I was like, what's the sauce? Because like I couldn't place it. And it's not like a super thick sauce or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And it almost had like see, this is how my brain thinks. So this is probably doing it short shrift, but like, I was like, this tastes like a really, really good, like a salad dressing type thing where it's almost like that consistency style.
Okay. Yeah. Like an oil based kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So a little, maybe just a hair thicker than like an Italian dressing or something like that. But getting that on every bite, it was phenomenal.
That sounds good. So we're talking about like elevated bar food is the idea, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They've got a little bit of everything because they have some of your standard appetizers, but then they also like they have wings. Like they've got a bunch of stuff. Like they've got. Actually, I'm gonna look it up because I didn't bring up the menu to start because that would have been smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it would have.
So I added by the way, the I'm Fat map has been updated.
Yes.
Everything we talk about on this episode, everything we talked on in the last 2 or 3 has been added, including Rick. Last week you talked about Corridor.
Yes.
I talked about a couple of places like Rinaldi's last week. So all those places and the places mentioned here are on the I'm Fat map. You can find the I'm Fat map in our social media bios. It's very handy. A lot of people, including Remlin Grimace, has been leaning heavily on the I'm Fat map, and we appreciate it. And the more you lean on it, the more heavily you will.
Yes. So, okay. So just to give an idea of the types of food they've got, and it's all like you mentioned, elevated to a point. Appetizers, a whole thing of 6 different types of sliders, burgers, turkey sandwiches, corned beef / pastrami sandwiches.
Oh, damn.
Chicken sandwiches, beef sandwiches, pork sandwiches, fish, vegetarian fare, soup, salads, vegan options.
Soup's okay.
So yeah, soup's okay, but it
Dip
was
your
smashed.
sandwich in it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I'll use a soup. But I got, and this was the special, was the, so I don't know how long it's there for, if it's daily, special, weekly, whatever. Either way, though, if those mac and cheese squares are any indication of the rest of the food, it is spectacular.
All right.
So make sure to try that. Then, and I asked when I was ordering my regular food, like, because I hadn't seen the size of the squares yet. I was like, I'm stuck between like a corned beef or pastrami sandwich and a burger. Mm-hmm. And she's like, those squares are actually pretty big, so I recommend you go with the sandwich. It's a little bit smaller. Okay, twist my arm. So I got they call it the double deuce, which it has not hit home yet. Has not lived up to the billing yet.
But it will. I'm confident that it will at some point.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hopefully
it will.
not mid-podcast.
No. Corned beef, pastrami, Swiss, Munster, hot, and now mind you, this might lose you. Hot and regular mustard, and it's on pumpernickel. And they like grill. You get a little bit like just light grill marks on the bread too.
Okay.
That's a really good sandwich. I mean, like it's kind of hard to mess up a corned beef and pastrami sandwich. They did not mess it up. It was really damn good. Like getting those grill marks on the bread just added that extra touch to it.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. The mix of the Swiss and the Munster worked really well. I got tots instead of fries.
Oh, it's a classic upgrade.
Yes, exactly. So it was like it was a really good meal.
I gotta air fry some tots. I can start making a list of stuff to air fry.
Dude, tots. Oh my God. Yes, you have to air fry. Could you imagine just like, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Add those to the list.
That sounds good. You by the way, are in a prime suburban area for food. You've got a lot of awesome stuff around you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just have to take advantage of it more often instead of like shutting my brain down and being like, I'm going to go to one of the 5 places I always go to.
Yeah. Well, this is me by the new work. It's like, I think part of it is the weather's not been good. Yeah. So I don't want to walk around and explore. I just want to get something I know is there. And I'm usually kind of getting there like right before the game starts. So I don't have a ton of time to explore. But there was a lot of good stuff there. We went to that Rinaldi's again. I took Hope and Addie there. Because I was going to work, and then they had tickets to see the Play 6. Hope won the lottery to see the Play 6, which is a musical about Henry VIII's wives, but it's like an American Idol competition. It's cool.
Interesting.
She won front row seats in the lottery.
Wow.
So her and Addie got to sit front row for that. So, but Rinaldi's Addie's official review of Rinaldi's was, these tendies are bomb. So there you go. There's your 11-year-old review of Rinaldi's. Nice. She loved it. Yeah. So by the way, one more thing I want to say. I've been recently having Wendy's breakfast.
Yes.
It's over. Wendy's is the fast food breakfast champion.
Wow.
It's done. It's over. I love McDonald's breakfast. Mm-hmm. Wendy's breakfast is twice as good as McDonald's breakfast. It is fantastic. The bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit at Wendy's is so good and so amazing. I can't imagine a better one, even though I've not air fried one yet. And their breakfast potato wedges, oh my God, they are so good. So if you can find a Wendy's that has agreed to do breakfast that day, which is the problem, which is why they're not getting the notoriety for the breakfast, because they're like choosing to not be open sometimes. Just be open and have breakfast, and then you will win the breakfast wars. It is so damn good. But that was not even on my conversational map today.
I was gonna say, by the way, one last thing from Bat 17.
Yeah.
Should I do the test that I did with you on the brownie?
Yes.
So I got a guy that was next to me. So where I sat was actually almost like a diner style bar, but like, classier looking. So this guy got a s'more brownie to go. So here,
a little higher there, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, there we go. That's melted marshmallow on top.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Also, this thing is thick. So that is a thick brownie and a dense brownie. And I gave Jay the indication. Now, you won't be able to see it, but you should be able to hear it. Here's what it sounds like when I drop the brownie onto the desk.
That was a massive thud.
Yes. And that wasn't even a good landing because it didn't land flat. Like, that's it.
You see, the great thing about that is you don't have to see it, because that sounded like, okay, that's a thick ass brownie.
Yes. And so I had part of it, and having that melted marshmallow on top is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
But that thing could also double as a doorstop if you need it.
Yeah, that is a large ass. I can like feel the weight of that. I'm saying probably about the weight of a cell phone. I'm trying. I got my phone in my hand. I'm kind of like doing
it's heavier than my cell phone.
Okay, wow. Well, I have more contacts than you, so my phone's
That's
heavier.
True. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I think that's how it works. More, I have fatter contacts, which knowing the Zawoski family, yes, probably.
Yes. So, Bat 17 address for those people scoring at home, keeping score at home, 2770 South Highland Avenue. That's Suite 102. So it's across Highland from the Yorktown Mall. It's right by the patio. It's in a strip mall. So like you could buy a mattress.
I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, you could like buy a mattress at whichever mattress shop is there. So afterwards you can fall asleep.
Take your pick.
Yes. So in this stretch, right next to each other is Bat 17, Burrito Paradilla, which there's a million of those now, Donut Experiment, and Billy Brick's Pizza.
Damn.
All like boom, 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 boom around the corner of that strip mall.
Okay.
And then you have the patio casting a shadow on it.
And the patio is great too.
Yep. The brisket sandwich there, and brisket sandwich and onion rings from there.
Yeah, patio is great. Wow. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Again,
if you like sushi and ramen, not necessarily my gig, but there's a sushi place that's been there for quite a few years now, and a ramen place that's opening up in the same complex.
Ramen is my next adventure.
Okay.
Because remember at Prudential, there was like the Marketplace Creations. Is that what it was called?
Yes.
It was just like your very basic cafeteria work, like hot bar, go get what you want. But they had a ramen chef that was absolutely fantastic. It was like, I don't know if he like lost work or something, but they hired him to make ramen. And it was like, everyone said, this is the best ramen you'll ever have. And I used to get it all the time. And it was so good. And I've kind of been chasing that ever since. There's a place right by CHGO Studios, a ramen place I'm going to try this week. I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to order.
Yeah.
Because with him, I would just be like, I want that. I could kind of like, a la carte my ramen.
Yeah, you need someone to hold your hand through it the first time.
I don't love the taste of the seaweed. I know that's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever that taste is, I don't love that. But I've gotten to the point where I was going to say this when you mentioned the mustard on the sandwich at Bat 17. I'm kind of just accepting things as they're made now.
Okay.
Because I told you 2022 is the year of yes for me. I'm just going to try stuff and it's not going to kill me. And maybe I'll find something I really like.
Now you realize Jim Carrey already made that movie, so you're not going to get to have that angle.
Well, everything's being remade now.
This is
So
true.
I just saw
there's no new thoughts ever.
Right. They're remaking The Crow. Can
They
you
are?
leave my teenage years alone? Stop. It doesn't need to be remade. It's already really good. I don't know if it holds up. But when that movie came out, The Crow, I was the perfect age. Like, this movie understands my darkness.
Yeah.
Like, Jay, you live in Oak Lawn. Shut up.
Right.
But it was a very meaningful movie for me.
Did I do the Lion King thing last week?
I don't know. It's not ringing a bell, but I'm
okay.
old.
So I forget who put it on Twitter, and I hate whoever did so. Lion King being released is now closer in time to the moon landing than now.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't either. I don't like that at all.
That at all.
I don't like that at all.
No. Oh.
Yep.
Yikes. All right, well, we need a palate cleanser after that. So,
Yes.
Spring break this week, which means lots of adventures, because I feel bad because Addie, the weather sucked. It was rainy, it was cold, it was horrible, so she didn't get to do anything fun. So,
So she hung out with you.
Yeah, well, after work, her and Hope and then Micah and his family came and met me in the city, and we went to Kong Dog, KONGDOG.US, if you want to look at their website. Kong Dog is a corn dog specialty shop.
Oh.
Okay, so you have three options. You can do a traditional, they call it a beef sausage corn dog. So it's like a spicy smoked dog. It's not like a standard Vienna or whatever.
Okay.
You can do just mozzarella instead of a hot dog. Or you can do a half and half, where they stick half of a sausage and half of a mozzarella and then put whatever you want around it. Okay?
Yes.
So I had three. I had the original Kong dog, which was it's just like cinnamon and sugar and then like a typical corn, right?
Okay.
So fantastic. Really good. I got that all sausage.
Okay.
Then I got the I got the hot Cheeto Kong dog.
Okay.
This to me was the half and half. So this was sprinkled hot Cheeto crumbs with a spicy mayo sauce, which I got on the side, not on top, in case I didn't like it, but it was okay. That was really good. Then I got the spaghetti Kong dog. The spaghetti Kong dog, I got all mozzarella inside. And then it's basically a ramen breading.
Interesting.
And then it's sprinkled with Parmesan and marinara. And if you go to the I'm Fat Podcast TikTok, you'll see me taking a bite of the spaghetti Kong dog and just like the eyes rolling in the back of my head. They also have sweet chili Dorito Kong dogs.
You are burying the lead.
What am I bearing? Oh, the churro one?
Yes.
Hope got that one. And it was fan-friggin-tastic. Yes. You really need to visit this website to get the full effect so you can see them. I know Mike is going to put some pictures up on the YouTube page too, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. But you've got to see these things to believe them. They're just unfrickin' real.
I mean, I've already got a hit list just scrolling down the menu here. I mean, good.
You should meet me here one day after work.
Yes.
This is not far from and there's street parking. So you and I can meet. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll meet you down there someday this week or next, and we'll hook up for lunch. But the churro Kong dog, which you mentioned, the sweet potato Kong dog, the potato, which a lot of people got and loved, which is basically like it's fried potato, so it's basically like little chunks of French fry on a corn dog.
Yeah, it's basically like getting a burger and a dog, or fries and a dog.
Right. There's
one
the
thing.
rainbow, which is coated with fruity rice puffs, which I think is Captain Crunch.
Okay.
I already mentioned the spaghetti, and then the injolmi. I don't know how to say that. Injolmi is a roast yellow bean powder, condensed milk
cool.
sprinkled of injolmi powder. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
But yeah, the oh my god. Oh, I didn't know they also have chicken sausage, and they also have a half beef, half cheddar stick. I didn't know they had cheddar. So, well, when we go back, I'll have some new stuff to try.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
and I'm looking at the drink menu too. Looks pretty solid.
Oh yeah,
they didn't just yada 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 that.
I had a blueberry lemonade from there.
Nice.
That was delicious. Addie got the bubble tea, but was not expecting it to taste like tea. So she didn't love it, but
okay.
me and Hope finished it for her, and it was really good. Really interesting place. It was really, I don't think it's a place I would go to all the time.
Sure.
But for like, if you want to take somebody and be like, look at this place, and the food is terrific. But I had 3 and I did not have dinner. I was like so beyond full. I think like late at night I might have had like a jar, like a can of SpaghettiOs just to take the edge off. But
To take the edge off.
yeah, Kong Dog was fantastic. Kongdog.us is the website. They've got multiple locations. I went to the one on Taylor Street. The address there, I have it, my phone locked. It is 1424 West Taylor Street. So yeah, check out the TikTok of me taking a bite of that spaghetti Kong Dog, and just just the look on my face tells you all you need to know. It was fantastic.
Okay, so I found this article a couple hours ago, honestly.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a week old, of why the food titled, and this is from eater.com, why the food in Pixar's Turning Red looks so good. I'll also be perfectly honest that I had not even heard of Turning Red.
Addie watches it all the time.
So is it actually a good movie, or is this just one of those, a movie Addie really likes that you got to go through?
No, it's really good. It's Pixar, so you know it's good. A lot about the relationship between a daughter and her mother, which is very important right now in Addie's life because she's about to hit the teen years where it's going to get rocky. And I think it's good for parents to watch with their kids too, right? Like give them some space, that sort of thing. It's also an Asian family, so like the very strict rules, and it's really, really good. I sort of was in the room while it was on a couple times. I haven't sat down and like consumed the entire thing, but Addie's watched it 4 or 5 times and really likes it. So, but yeah, go with the article you mentioned, and it made me actually turn the scene on that was mentioned in this.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen the scene either. So for me, watching it gave great context to it. So the thought of basically like, what's the thought process here with the food? How realistic versus not? And just the thought of, one, how much thought went into it, how many people they consulted about it, and also just the thought of chunky cute.
Chunky cute.
It was the main overarching thing of, and mind you, I don't even know what the meal is necessarily, but like it looks delicious, and just, yeah, it's like a 25-second scene of making the food, and it is, if Pixar could make food porn,
yeah,
it's pretty much as close as it could be, because it's really wonderful. And I love how they like went into the thought process of how they wanted to attack the food in and of itself.
Yeah, what I thought was interesting about the story too, and we'll post it on our Twitter account, is how animators hate making food. It's a really difficult thing to make look good and look realistic. And the method they use, so yeah, you mentioned it, the scene is only like 25 seconds, and I think it's maybe like 15, 20 minutes into the movie. It's right in the beginning, but they're preparing dinner. So the father is making bao. So they show the mother and daughter are making the bao for him to then boil. And he holds one up with chopsticks, and you can see like the texture of the dough with also like the powder, like the flour on it, and it looks real. It looks like you could reach out and grab it. And it's fantastic. And they chop lettuce, and there's like moisture on the lettuce that makes it look really fresh, and light comes through it perfectly, and they sprinkle salt, and it like sparkles. It's just, the animation of it was beautiful, and I think it was really kind of showing the importance that meant to the family. to kind of romanticize it a little bit, but
yeah,
it was cool.
It's funny that you mentioned that because, it's not like on the same level, but it gave the same vibe in terms of the importance of the food itself to the scene we always talk about, which is the prison scene in Goodfellas, where it's like, yes, like there's people and other stuff going on, and like in the Goodfellas scene, like Henry Hill's talking, but the focus is the food and what that food means for their group at that point in time when they're, dealing with their elevated version of being in prison. Like, it's kind of the same thing here where for so many families, it feels like even more now, and maybe it's because of the pandemic or because of the proliferation of food related shows, that making food either with your family or with your significant other or whatever, it just like has taken on a greater meaning. And this just felt like it really kind of captured it.
That's a really good way to put it. And I think you're right about that, because there has been, just look around at the people who during the pandemic have picked up like bread making or making coffee at home or whatever people have had to do to adapt and stay, I don't know if motivated is the right word, but stay inspired. Mm-hmm. When things are starting to get back to normal a little bit, right? But for a long time there, it was like, well, we got to do everything at home. We're working from home. Everything's from home. So let's find a way to keep it interesting. And people picked up these new hobbies, and cooking was among them. And I think the scene really did a good job of representing the importance of the food to the family in that moment and in their home and the whole thing. And it was really, again, 25 seconds of a movie, but it's the same thing as Goodfellas. That scene was really short. Where he's got the razor blade chopping the garlic. But it's something that it's one of the most memorable movie scenes because you can almost taste the scene, Yes. Like, oh, I wish I was there. I wish I could be in prison with those mobsters. And the smell
of the steak. Yep. Yeah. Like it smelled up something awful, but he made a great steak.
Yeah, it's just, it's amazing how, we joke all the time, but like food is like such a connective tissue for everybody. Yeah, that's why family reunions and barbecues they're full of food. That's like the focal point that brings everybody together around it, and it's
everyone has the aunt that makes that thing that even if you may not like in some instances, you may not even want to see the person that much, but hey, you'll deal with the person to get the food. Well, now like the initial thing that comes to mind for me is one of my aunts, and I legitimately love her to death. My Aunt Ginny is fantastic, but like. She's the one that makes the double baked potatoes.
Yep. That's her thing.
That's her thing, and they're so damn good. So
that's my Aunt Joe with the punchkis. My Aunt Joe and Uncle Fran make the punchkis every year, and pandemic or not, we make it happen. Yeah. Right? Like people were just going in there with masks. She would have them on the table, like walk in and grab your order. They made, what'd she say? I don't want to over or undersell it, but I want to say 6,700 punchkis this year.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I think something like that.
Oh my
God. And hers are small, but everyone orders a couple dozen and a couple dozen people come and there you go, So it is her thing, and it every year on Punchki Day, she sees everybody.
Yep.
And that is why she does it. It is her way of, and it's funny because she's like, I get to see everybody. They come in and they leave.
It's a perfect amount.
It's great. Hey, Aunt Joe, how's it going? How's it, everything okay? Thanks for doing this. Yeah, good to see you. All right, see you next shift. Come, you know what I mean? It's great. Yeah. That is what keeps her happy. So it's great. Those things are wonderful. All right, before we move on to the Ask a Fat segment, want to mention a new place that just opened a week ago Friday.
Okay.
Maria's Tamales on 12246 South Harlem, so 122nd in Harlem, right next to Those Guys Bakeries, which is one of my absolute favorites. Open Friday, family owned. I went in there like maybe Wednesday, so they've been open for less than a week.
Okay.
Got a burrito, got a tamale. They serve chips and salsa. Fantastic. Like really, really good within their first week of being open. That's a really solid sign.
Yeah.
When a place is good and functioning and the food is hot and fresh and correct. I had like a 4-year-old girl bring me my chips and salsa. It was adorable. She was just helping her mom, who was the waitress was the daughter of the owner, Maria. Okay. And then her daughter was there helping her. So she comes to my table with the chips and salsa, like, here you go. I'm like, oh, have you been doing this a long time? I had to dad joke her. Right. But she got a kick out of it. Nice. It was fun. But the place was great. Always good to support new business. Maria's Tacos. And it's got another name. And I don't know how to say this. And I hesitate because I don't want to. I think
Butcher
it's Champurrado. So Champurrado is like a Mexican hot chocolate drink.
Okay.
So that is the official name of the place. Maria's Tacos and Champurrado.
Okay.
So next time I go, I'm going to have to try one. If you've ever had the Abuelita hot chocolate pucks.
Okay.
Where you've seen them. They come in like a yellow cardboard box, and it's got an old lady sipping hot chocolate. And the package is hockey puck sized pieces of chocolate. And you melt those in milk, and then you have hot chocolate.
Right.
This is what that is. But this is a homemade version of it, and I cannot wait to try it. It happened to be warm the day I went, so I didn't get one. But check them out on 122nd in Harlem, right next to Those Guys. If you're looking for an I'm Fat Matt stop,
it's a murderer's row.
Go to Maria's and then go to Those Guys and get a chocolate donut, and you will be very, very happy.
Now, did you get to meet Maria?
She was not there at that moment because it was like 2 o'clock on a weekday.
Oh, so you didn't get to meet a girl named Maria?
Damn it, Rick. All right.
You thought you were getting through this whole thing, didn't you?
No. Honestly, I did not. No, I did not. All right, let's ask the Fats.
All right.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask a Fat is brought to you by our buddy Charlie the Bacon Guy. Hit us up, imfatpod@gmail.com, or on the Fat Phone, 708-858-3314. Here's Charlie with this week's Bacon Report.
Thanks, Jay. This week we have maple pepper, rosemary pepper garlic, buffalo and ranch bacons. The jalapeno garlic and the stout bacon are sold out. For bacon jams, we have the original, the bourbon, and the apple butter. We always have the t-shirts, hockey jerseys, stickers, and winter hats. Thanks for everybody who reached out in the last week. My resume is updated and ready to send out. Shipping is still an ongoing question at the moment. I should have it figured out by the middle of this week, but there are going to be changes coming to that procedure. Stay tuned for more. For the Bacon Report, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy.
Oh, man, the jalapeno garlic is sold out. I missed it. You ass.
You blew it.
I did blow it. And that stout bacon, too. I should have gotten on that. I'm lazy and stupid. Oh, well. Order some bacon from Charlie. Very easy to do. CharlieTheBaconGuy@gmail.com. Charlie the Bacon Guy on Instagram, @CZTheBaconGuy on Twitter. He's located in Woodridge, and while he's working out the shipping situation, if you live in those areas, you can meet him halfway. If you're really close, he'd probably even deliver to you. So get in touch and figure it out. Charlie will make it happen for you. We appreciate a bunch of people jumping up and supporting Charlie after he was fired by Schmaltz. And I don't know if I said this last week, but angrily, Addie went on all of my social media accounts and unfollowed Schmaltz. She was very pissed on Charlie's behalf.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for someone to fight for you, Addie's got your back. I was very proud of her. I'm like, that's a little unnecessary, but I appreciate the fact that you're that upset about someone you've met twice and that you care that much. So that's a good thing. So again, email us. imfatpod@gmail.com. Leave the Fat Phone, 708-858-3314. No voicemails this week, so we just have a handful of emails to get to.
All right, first one from Michael. Heard Rick mention that he tried Distill Sour last week, and I'm still hoping that I'm getting that pronunciation
right. It's distill.
Right.
Just like distill.
Or distill.
Like a distiller.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just an idiot. They're a brewery from Bloomington Normal that has started making their way into Chicago restaurants and liquor stores. They have tons of great sours and an awesome beer hall right off of 55 with great food if you're ever passing through.
All right.
That's Michael.
I need to try that. I looked for that when you told me about the Flanders, the cherry sour.
Yeah.
I could not find it at a couple places, but I was in Mokina when I was looking, so I didn't expect it to be out that far.
Gotcha.
I got to try Butch's by us here. But I did get the 312. Have you seen 312 came out with their own lemonade shandy?
Yes.
I
have had that.
Okay, now there's a variety pack that has grapefruit lemonade and raspberry lemonade.
Ooh, the raspberry. I'm a sucker for raspberry.
I know you are. So the Jewels had it, and they also had a coupon that if you bought that, you'd get $4 off a pack of Vienna beef hot dogs.
Okay.
So there you go.
I like the thought process.
Yeah, which I would think would basically make a pack of Vienna hot dogs free. It can't be much more than $4.
Can't be much more now.
Yeah. Anyway, this one's from Erin. She says, have either of you ever been to Crumble Cookies? Expensive, yes, but the portions are huge, and I haven't been disappointed yet. I think their marketing strategy of new flavors weekly is genius. Makes you feel like you have to go so you don't miss out on a new flavor. Also, going to need more northern suburb content for the pod and food map. That's from Erin from Lake Zurich. Yeah, we just don't live there.
Yeah.
You know, like I
don't have many reasons to go up there like consistently either.
Yeah, I do have with the new job. I've got some weekdays off, and like in the summer there'll be days where I'm working from home, so I will have some time to just kind of explore more than usual. So I will make sure I get up there. I know we're going to go to Ravinia at least a couple times, but we've got our favorites up there. We've got Once Upon a Bagel is a place we love. We go there all the time. There's a few up there, but you're right. Yeah. We got to be better. And look, if you've got a place you love, send them along and we'll try them.
Right. Trombone Shorty's going to be at Ravinia in late June, so I will be going.
Well, Willie Nelson is not scheduled to be there, and he's doing his Outlaw Music Fest, so I got to find a way to get to that. But the Black Crowes are coming, and they're doing like the entire Shake Your Moneymaker album.
Oh,
which is hell yes, I'm going to go see that. By the way, Crumble Cookies, I have not been, but I have had it.
We have had.
Yes, and they're really, really good. There's one coming to Mokina. So if you're in the Southwest Burbs, there's one coming your way. But yeah, Crumble is good. We did try to go to the Naperville one once, but there was like a line around the block and it was raining. So we're like, we'll get it next time.
Yeah, that's a hat tip to our unpaid producer Russ Schneider for when we were at Fall Fest.
Yep.
He brought us basically the Star Crunch, whatever they're calling the homemade Star Crunch.
Yes.
And let me tell you, when I was gonna go and I saw it wasn't there, because as Aaron mentioned, they're smart and they keep rotating things through. I was disappointed. So I still need to actually go there for the first time, but like that was next level.
Yeah, it was insane. It was like a giant, better homemade Star Crunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. This one from Tim. Hey, Fats. This question came up last night between my wife and I enjoying our Culver's dinner. What is the equivalent for a cheese curd and French fry trade? I said 1 curd equals at least 2 fries. She argued it's an even 1 for 1.
Oh, hell no.
What is the true answer? Or do I just tell her to order her own damn cheese curds if she wanted some?
No.
Thanks, guys, and have a fantastic day.
It is not a 1 for 1.
It's not a 1 for 1.
And she knows that too, by the way.
Right. That's some bargaining bull crap.
Next time it's flipped, try that trade and see what happens. I would say 4.
Whoa. 4 fries for 1 cheese
I want to be
curd?
able to reach into your fry bag and grab a pinch worth.
Okay.
Which is around 4 for a curd. That is an even trade to me.
And we're saying not one of the like little mini curds that get like a standard size curd.
No nubbin. No micro curds. I want a full ass size curd. That's 4 fries.
Yeah, see, I was thinking like 3, so we hit the gamut there.
We'll set it at 3.5.
All right. My guess is it'll end up being under.
Yeah, probably.
Because,
yeah,
I'm not even going to say what I know
what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, most important thing, everybody. Well, first of all, thanks for listening. Second of all, remember, start voting today, Monday, April 4th at 11 a.m. You've got 2 days to vote, though, 48 hours. It's burritos, it's air fryers to join the Onion Ring of Honor. It is a huge honor for either of those. They are both worthy additions to the Onion Ring of Honor, so we're excited. Make sure you get those votes in. The more votes, the more clear of a picture we'll have on who deserves to be in there.
Yep.
So get those votes in.
So make sure to follow us on all of our social media, not just Twitter, where that voting is happening, at I'mFatPod, I'mFatPod@gmail.com, Patreon, TeePublic, the YouTube page, subscribe to that, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. And for the regular podcast, if you have not already, where have you been? Also, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Help us juke the numbers. Let's boost ourselves up in ye ol' rankings And check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, and Frato's Culinary Kitchen. So for Jay, I'm Rick, and this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
All right, I think we got a lot accomplished here today.